Hi, Facebook. Welcome to Kenise's HR Corner. Hey, everybody. So excited to be here. Today is, Sunday, November 19th, 2018. It is 9 p.m. Yes, it is. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about how to successfully ask for a salary increase. So if you know somebody who is working and needs a salary increase or wants to find out how they can get a salary increase, the best way to do so is through kind of the tips that I'm going to be giving right here, right now, tonight. So, I am going to just talk a little bit about myself as an executive career coach. This is what I do. So I work with people around the country and helping them get their careers together, helping them get their thoughts together in regards to how to ask for salary increases and even negotiating it. So next week, Sunday after Thanksgiving, I'll be going over some negotiation 101. For those of you on Instagram and Facebook, I'm also going to be doing it live, both on Facebook and Instagram. So as part of the executive career coaching that I've been doing with people, I'm going to talk about a few people that I'm currently working with. So somebody right now, one of the clients that I'm working with is he is currently making $125,000. He feels that his job should be more so about $200,000. So I've been working with him in trying to get his job up to $200,000. How am I doing that? Well, this is what my video is going to be sharing with you guys on how you could successfully ask your manager or supervisor for a salary increase. So it's really important for you guys to take a listen to these tips. So my second client that I'm working with is somebody who is making $52,000 and she feels that she can get up to about $60,000 based on what she's currently working on. So to successfully get to the next level in her position, she wants to go from $52,000 to $60,000. So we've been working on creating a plan, and that's what I'm going to talk to you guys tonight really briefly about how to successfully prepare yourself for that salary increase. So the first thing you want to do is make sure when ready to ask for a salary increase is make sure that you read the employee handbook. You want to make sure whatever the policies and procedures are, how often do they usually say that they're going to give salary increases? Is it annually? Is it only every time that you get a promotion that you'll get a salary increase? So you should have an employee handbook or an employee guide which talks about kind of evaluations. You want to partner your evaluations with your salary increase, which is super important. So you want to make sure that you are looking at your employee handbook, number one. Number two, you want to make sure that when you're reading the employee handbook that you understand it because you signed for it. Most companies have you sign that you've acknowledged that you've received the handbook. So it's important that you do sign off on it and you retain a copy of it. If you don't have a copy of it, you should contact your human resources department and get a copy of the handbook. Most companies now have it electronically on their employee portal, so you can always access it. Then the first thing you want to do is make sure whatever the policy is. If the policy is that you get a salary increase, it says based on merit increase, based on your evaluation and your performance, then all right, so no, we're in business. If it says that it doesn't say anything about salary increases, then you need to do a little bit more research on how you can possibly get a salary increase. So I'm going to stick with the fact that most companies have right now salary increases that they give out to employees on an annual basis. So if they're giving you an annual increase, most of the times they're not going to give you an increase outside of that annual unless there's a promotion tied into it. And so if your company is giving you a salary increase based on your annual evaluation, then you want to wait for that annual evaluation to come up. So a couple of things you want to do to prepare is you want to make sure that you have in your mind, you're not going in just point blank, just saying things that you need to be properly rehearsed on what you're going to be telling your supervisor in your evaluation, because it's preparing you. You don't want to go in and the first things out of your mouth is to say, I want a salary increase. I feel that I should make more money. That's not the first thing you want to do. The first thing you want to do is hear the evaluation. You want to hear what their thoughts are, what they're feeling, are you kind of meeting goals, if it's a goal-related type of position. And then you want to then give your feedback. Sometimes you may not come across directly with a salary increase, but you want to, don't sound pushy. And as a manager myself, like I've worked with so many people, I hate when people walk into my office and tell me, oh, I feel I deserve a salary increase. Okay. All right, thanks for that. Like, I feel like I should get a salary increase too. So it's like, really like, okay, tell me the reason why you feel you should get a salary increase. So the first thing you want to do is write down the things that you've accomplished over the course of a year. A salary increase for that year, evaluation is usually done annually. So it's either calendar year or from anniversary date from the time you come into the company to the time, the 12 months to 1 year with the company or 2 years, and they kind of keep the same date. So you want to make sure that you are setting up and writing down what you've accomplished that year. So you should document. So I like to document. Documenting for me, just keeping emails when you've accomplished like a great task, or if you've accomplished and completed a project, or if people gave you accolades and people said, listen, you're doing a great job, keep the email. Print it out. Sometimes you don't want to forward emails to your personal email address. That may be against your company policy. So you want to print out that email or save it into an email folder, so you have it as part of your repertoire. So when you're going in for your evaluation, you want to bring these things in with you. You want to hear if your manager is telling you all of these wonderful things. If there's some kind of disconnect, that's a whole different conversation, but I'm not going to talk about that disconnected conversation. I'm talking about kind of a connection with your supervisor, your manager, to say that you're doing a really, really great job. So you're sitting with your supervisor, you're hearing what they have to say. You are sharing now with them. Okay, so Mr. whatever or Mrs. whatever, I've accomplished X, Y, and Z. I've been here every day, and this is what I feel my expectations are for this position. You are coming in prepared. You have goals, you have your repertoire of things that you've collected over the course of the year. And finally, you've done your research. So right now it's very simple to do research on salaries. You go to salary.com. That's a very typical website. Another website I've talked before in my other video is glassdoor.com, where you want to be able to go and kind of search the name, the title of your position. If it's not a unique title, then if it's a common title, you should be able to find other positions, and you will see a salary increase. I'm sorry, you would see a salary that you would have the low, median, and high. You want to always take the median, and then you can put in the state that you live in. So New York, everybody knows everything is higher in New York, so your salary is definitely going to be a little bit higher than it is like in down south. So you want to go in with all of that stuff, but keep in mind it's when you present it. That's going to be very important, how you present it. So you want to remember if you were in that person's position, how would you want to hear it? What I like to hear when people walk into my office during an evaluation and they're like, oh, I think I need a salary increase. I said, okay, well, tell me why. Even though I feel that they may get a salary increase, I want to see what they're going to tell me. And I want to see how prepared they are. So if they're coming in nonchalant, like, yo, I need a salary increase, I got to feed my family, this is the salary, ain't going to keep me well, you know, they won't pay for my BMW payments. Like, I don't want to hear that stuff. I want to hear what value, keyword value, you've brought into my department and to the company overall in achieving goals, because I'm very goal driven. So my department, I run very efficiently and very effectively. Any department I've ever ran, it's always making sure that you are what you're bringing to the table. Did you like make projects and complete projects fully to the point where like you are amazing? Like, I can't live without you in my department. Then I have no reason why not to give you a salary increase. So number one, you want to make sure you have your goals. Number two, you want to make sure that you have your salary research. And you want to make sure that during the course of the year, you're reminding your supervisor kind of like, oh my gosh, remember when we did this and I did a great job, didn't I? A great leader will be constantly telling you that you are doing a great job. A great leader would be able to do so and would be kind of taken back or kind of jealous of the fact that, you know, you're outshining them. A great leader wants people people to do a great job and kind of go above and beyond and outshine that leader, because it makes you look as a leader, as a great person. So when you get into the room, you have your goals, you have your thoughts already with the salary because you've done your research, and you're sitting down with your supervisor and now you guys are talking. You want to hear exactly what the manager is saying during that meeting. This is not you calling for a salary increase meeting. This is an evaluation meeting that I'm talking about. So during your annual evaluation, make sure you check your handbook to see what it says regarding evaluations. You want to now show your accomplishments and your added value. And when I mean show, it's not like what I said. You do not walk into the room. If you have a great relationship with your manager, you could say, well, I can't afford the payments on my C-Class Mercedes, and then you guys can laugh about it. But really, it's not really where you want to go with this particular conversation. You want to talk about how you brought value, and you want to demonstrate your accomplishments that you have done for the company over the course of the year. And again, the only reason that you're going to remember all of this stuff is through documenting it and making sure that you keep a constant tab of what you've been doing, because they forget. Managers forget, supervisors forget, CEOs forget. They forget during the course of the year what you have brought to the table. And so you want to make sure you have all of that stuff documented when you're going in and you're going to get ready to ask for a salary increase. You also, number 4, you want to wait and hear what they have to say. You want to wait and hear what they're going to be giving to you. Most companies, kind of in the course of the year, have a budget. So they budget to give you kind of, okay, well, I'm going to give you 4%. We're giving like 4% or 5% based on your evaluation that you have. So if there's a cap on it, it's really not a lot of room there. But if there's no cap and you're hearing that person got 10%, that person got 12%, again, don't measure your success based on others. You want to make sure that what you are trying to get, where you're trying to get to, is kind of now going to be verbalized to the manager in regards to what you value added. Focus on what you deserve. So number 5 is focus on why you deserve it. Focus on not why you need it. And again, I'm going back to, this is not to make payments because the cost of living in New York is high, or the cost of living of where you are. You don't want to talk about, every day I prefer to eat steaks rather than like eating McDonald's every day. So like I need a $10,000 increase. You know what I'm talking about? When you calculate $10,000 across the board over 26 pay periods, most people get paid bi-weekly. It's not a lot of money that's coming on your paycheck. So a salary increase, you want to calculate it correctly and making sure that, okay, if you want an extra $100 on your paycheck, how much is that salary increase? And then work it out for percentage to see what percent. So you have a percent in your mind already going forward. So you want to focus on why you deserve it, why you bring value. And again, it goes back to what I said, documenting. All right. Then after I have my notes here, then you want to practice your pitch. You want to practice your presentation, and you want to anticipate questions. So you're listening to what they bring to the table, and you want to practice all of this conversation kind of before you go in and speak with your supervisor. You want to practice this all in your kind of head if you want to practice it. So I told you guys earlier on my video just now that I'm working with somebody who's currently at $125,000 and he wants to get to $200,000. And I've listed out all of his projects that he's been working on. And for the last year, he's going for his evaluation meeting in December. So we've been really working on really practicing and kind of talking it through. So he's been role playing it with me. So if you have somebody to role play with and say, okay, pretend you're my supervisor, pretend that I'm talking to you, pretend I'm talking about what value I bring to the table. You want to practice that. You want to practice any other questions that the person may come up with. Again, most companies are typically budget driven. So you want to keep that in mind, that you're not breaking the bank, but you also want to don't lowball yourself. because I will tell you the truth. I've had people who've come to me for salary increases, and in my mind, I want to hear their value, and I have like 10 or 15%. And then I'm like, well, what are you looking for? They're like, oh, I'm looking for 5%. I'm like, well, I'll give you 5% then, because that's what they were looking for. So why would I give you like more? I'd probably give the person like 6 or 7%, because then they'll make them happy for like a year and a half. So anyway, you want to make sure that you practice your pitch and do some like kind of mock conversations with somebody and anticipate any questions. And only you would know the kind of supervisor or manager that you have. And then finally, I just want to say is you want to talk about the future. You want to talk to your supervisor about, in addition to how you add value, is like, listen, I see a future with this company. I see a future with this department. This is where I want to grow. This is where I want to be. I'm going back to school. I'm doing this certificate. I'm doing that training, blah, blah, blah. Whatever else you can add to say that, you know what, any company that if you're a good employee, they want to see how invested you are in the company. Every manager values loyalty. Doesn't matter if they like you or don't like you. They all value loyalty. So you want to make sure that you're showing your loyalty to the company. So start the conversation that you're having with the supervisor or your manager on a positive note. Say, I really see myself in this position. You've been an amazing supervisor and you great mentor, and you've really helped to take me to the next level. So I just want to add that in there, is that you want to talk about the future and your future with the company and how important it is for you to stay there. And then you also, number 5, be prepared to hear the answer no. So in your mind, don't be upset don't be discouraged if you hear the word no. If you don't get the pay increase or the new position you requested, it doesn't have to be the end of your negotiation. Request an interim performance appraisal with clearly defined goals. And you want to say, listen, I don't know why, I understand what you're saying, but I want to then make myself much better. So I'm going to ask you for the next 3 months, that you give me clear goals, what you want me to accomplish. And in the next few months, I want us to do another performance evaluation. 9 out of 10 times they would say, yes, that's fine. And then you bring it up again at that point. If at that point you're not getting your salary increase, you're not getting your promotion, not the company for you. You need to start looking. You definitely need to start looking, because any company that I have been with, and currently I'm working with a few companies right now as their HR consultant, and I'm working with a few individuals with the executive career coaching, is that a company that values an employee will pay the employee to retain them. If a company decides that you should just leave and they don't want to give you the salary increase, and they're not telling you to leave, but they're not giving it to you, then it's not the place for you. You need to go somewhere where you're being valued by your supervisor, where the hard work that you're doing, spending 40, sometimes 50 hours a week, working really hard. So you want to make sure it's the right company. All right. So if you guys have any questions or need any help with your salary increases, I definitely want you guys to let me know. And I want you to share the video, if you can, to somebody who is interested in, getting a salary increase. There is a lot more entailed in this. I work one-on-one with individuals with executive career coaching. And again, you don't have to be a C-suite level position. I'll be more than happy to work with you. So let me know if you have any questions. Send me an email on Facebook or check out my website at www.ambitionprogram.com, and it has executive coaching tab on there. You can click on it and you can send me an email through there too. So Instagram, Facebook, it was lovely. I wish you guys a very happy Thanksgiving. On next Sunday, I'm going to be back on. I'm going to be talking about negotiation 101, my favorite topic. One of my favorite things to do is to negotiate. So we're going to go through some negotiation tips that I'm going to share with you that you can use in your working world and also on in your regular everyday life. So if you guys have any questions, again, reach out to me. Hit me up on ambitionprogram.com. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Kenise's HR Corner, for all the videos. If you missed them and you can't find them, you can find all my videos there. All right, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Thanks, guys, and I will see you next Sunday, 9 p.m. Bye.